to do in this format. But I will tell you that if you are interested in the club, in joining, that we do have a membership application you can find on our website and fill it out. And at this point, you'd have to mail it in with a check the old-fashioned way if you're interested in joining us. And we hope that if you're in a position to do so, that you do just that. I also want to greatly thank, we all owe a huge thanks to Matt Rank, who put all of this together and basically made this his full-time job over the last 2 weeks, getting us up and running with this, as well as, of course, we had to do a lot of scrambling to reschedule and unschedule some of the events that we had coming up in the next few weeks. So Matt, thank you very much. Valerie, also, thank you very much for your help with your expertise in this service, and the rest of the board as well for coming on the line. We actually did a little practice run last week with Ron, not with our real images, but just to have all of us get used to using this format. So we really are looking forward to doing this tonight. A lot of us have been really very much looking forward to this meeting. It's nice to have a little bit of normalcy in what's going on. I think most of you have discovered the chat window at the very bottom. It's kind of glowing orange right now, at least on my screen. You're certainly welcome to use that to give applause or ask a question. Valerie's going to be available to help folks through this if need be. So use the chat button, use it for applause, because we're not going to be able to hear you from here on out. If you're having trouble with your computer speakers, you might want to switch to your phone instead, and that number and the meeting ID is at the bottom. Okay, April 22nd is supposed to be, is our next meeting. We don't have a meeting the beginning of April because of Passover and Easter. So our next meeting is scheduled for the 22nd, and it is our reflections competition meeting. More likely than not, that meeting is going to be held online, just like this one is. So, we'll keep in touch with you. Please watch your email. So that's the best way for us to communicate with you. So watch your email and we'll let you know what's going on. We are considering a program, maybe a speaker between now and the next meeting. So if we manage to put something together that we can do again online, we'll let you know. So again, pay attention to your email so that you can know that that's going on. Once we do get back together in person, know that our physical meeting location has changed. We are going to be meeting from now on at the First Presbyterian Church of Cranbury. And that is right on Main Street, across the street from the Cranbury Inn. Okay, I'm done talking. Gallery show and so forth, Matt?
Yeah, the gallery show has been changed. The date has been changed. It's no longer in April. It'll be in September. So you now have a few more months to get images to me. The ones that have sent me images said they wanted to stay in the show, so they're going to stay in the show. Also, Vicky's presentation has been postponed. We will get a date soon. We don't really know when we're going to be able to do it, but we're hoping maybe like July or August sometime. Once we have that date, we'll send it out. Everybody that signed up will get first dibs on keeping the date, or they can cancel at that time.
Terrific, Matt. Will, here's another person who's been spending an awful lot of time working on all of these changes that we've been making. You have an update for us, Will, on the website?
Yeah, as you know, there's been a couple of issues with email going up on the website. We think we fixed that. We'll keep doing that over the next couple of weeks, and if things are okay, then great. If not, we'll work on it again. There was also an issue with Firefox, but that's been fixed with the drop-down menus. And speaking of which, there is now a new item in the members tab where you can, if you scroll over, go on the menus, sorry, the members drop-down menu, right at the bottom.
Where's it at?
There you go. Right at the bottom, there's, oh, you don't have,
Hold on.
Just to refresh
you
the
need to
screen.
refresh that, thank you. Yes, there's now
Newsletters.
newsletters, and that goes back to October 2018. So it's all the newsletters going back over the last year and a half or so.
Cool.
Also under that members tab, can you go back there again, Matt? For those who, oops, for folks who have maybe forgotten their email or changed browsers and didn't have it again, if you go into the members again,
Mm-hmm.
thank you. There's a request login info, second tab down, click on that. You're going to fill in your name and postal code, email address, and it will send you an email with your login info. Okay. So that's all I have for the website.
That's great. Thanks, Will. Appreciate it. Linda, do you want to say anything about the treasurer's report? It is attached, by the way. It was there.
I have to find Linda. Hold on. She's muted. There she is. She didn't spell her name right. Okay. Linda, you're unmuted.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
You and Greg must be sitting near each other.
I have not talked to the church since we haven't been able to like go and see them. Other than that, the treasury's report's in there. There's information as to bills we've paid. We have money in the account. We can pay the judge.
Terrific. And of course, this time of year, things are looking really good. And certainly the new church is less expensive. So that's going to give us some relief. But, you know, we still are trying to be careful with our budget. Valerie, the survey and speakers.
Hello. Okay,
Hi.
so the survey, we got a pretty good response back. So we're doing well with that. We're going to send it out one last time to try to get a few more people and do a little test. And the speaker, we don't have one for April, but we just talked about that, what we might do for, we had a lot of feedback still. Interesting. For April, we'll figure that out, but for, what year am I thinking about? For May, if we're back into the church, we'll have James, and I am going to reach out to him just in case we're still on quarantine to see if he can actually give his presentation through Zoom like we're doing now. So we'll see. That's it.
Terrific. Thanks, Valerie. I'm going to speak for Melinda and just remind you that PSA round 3 for the digital competition, you can upload up to 6 images to our website by March 29th. That information is on the agenda that's at the bottom of the email that went out. It's a national competition. It's open subject matter, black and white or color, and it can include creative images with all forms of manipulation permitted. So you'll upload 6, we'll vote on them, and then the top 6 will be sent to PSA on behalf of our club. Terry, NJFCC.
Yeah, I just want to cover one thing, a couple of things. The first one is very important. There was a little glitch in the agenda, so let me just cover that. Nature competition is coming up April 5th. That's the due date. All categories are no hand of man. There was a category mentioned in the agenda general that was hand of man. That was wrong. All categories are no hand of man, and you can only put in 2, no matter how many different categories you want to enter. It can only be 2 total. So no hand of man, all categories, 2 entries, due on the 5th. we had a very good response to pictorial. We had 25 people enter, 16 in the open, and I'm very proud to say 9 people figured out what creative means. And I still don't know, so maybe you'll explain it to me. So that was real good. We should win something with 25 people in. Photorama was postponed. If you had bought tickets, you probably got an email. It's going to be June 6th, same speakers, same everything. I'll keep you posted in case of there's any other changes. It should take a little longer to get the results back for NJFCC because they're not going to have competitions on site. They're going to trying to set it up remotely, and that's probably going to take a little longer to set up. That's it.
Terrific. If I can just mention something, Terry, that we found with Glennie that really threw people off. When you're doing a no hand of man nature contest and you're putting something in that is a flower or a plant, you need to make sure it's not a hybridized plant. In other words, one that was bred by man. Now, I know we're not all botanists, but I'll just say generally that if it's in your garden, more likely than not, it is not eligible. Definitely not eligible Siberian irises, tulips, sunflowers, most daylilies would not be eligible. So just be careful. It has to be a plant from pure nature. It can't be something that has a hand of man in changing its genetics. So I think, as Terry says, you know, we don't make up the rules, but that's one of the rules, and it has thrown us off. So please be careful if you do put in anything that's a plant. I'm also going to speak for John for Worldwide Pinhole Photography Day. A number of you took caps to make your pinhole, your regular camera into a pinhole camera at the last meeting. If someone still would like to participate, it is Sunday, April 26th, and you have to take the image that day, but upload it by May 31st. It is not a competition, it's just for fun. There's actually a site that for Worldwide Pinhole Photography Day that you upload to. If anyone would like to participate, John will make you a cap. If you can either let them know in the chat room today or send them an email. And for a $5 donation, tell them what kind of camera you have. He'll make you a cap and mail it to you. And there's a donation to the club, not to John, of course. So it's fun. 6 of us participated last year, and we're going to post those photos pretty soon so everybody can see them. Okay, we're just about ready to get to the competition. Today's competition is leading lines, and by definition, the leading lines are compositional elements, straight or curved or irregular, that lead the viewer's eye into the image. Subjects include but are not limited to paths, streams, roads, wires, and fences. Very quickly, before I introduce Ron, either Valerie or Matt, can you please demonstrate how to maximize your screen so you can see the photos to their largest extent?
Yeah, let me see here. You guys are basically in a window, aren't you? You're in a Zoom window. Hold on one sec.
Yeah. Maybe I can talk them through it. If you see where the little speaker is, you can see Ron there. If you move your mouse over next to Ron, you'll see these 2 little lines pop up. And if you hold down your left, and then when you put your mouse over it, a gray bar will come up, a vertical bar. You hold down your left mouse button and click and drag. You can make one window bigger than the other. Just click and drag.
Can you show that, Matt, on your screen?
I cannot.
I think if you make me the presenter, it does the same thing for me, Matt. I don't think it'll let me show it.
I don't think we can't actually physically show it.
No.
All right. If you have a problem with that, just send Valerie a note in the chat I think you're going to be very pleased at how well you're going to see these pictures. You may not want to go back to doing competitions in person after you see this. So let me introduce Ron. Ron Wyatt, his first experience with photography was as an unsuccessful photo documentation of his honeymoon. Armed with a borrowed Instamatic camera, you're dating yourself, Ron? He learned that camera shake will not produce great photos. A self-taught photographer, Ron has covered the NBA, NFL, MLB, and 2 Summer Olympic Games. His photos have appeared in many publications, including USA Today, Black Enterprise Magazine, Time Magazine, Newsweek, TV Guide, and ESPN. He has covered corporate assignments for a wide variety of companies, including Six Flags, Robert Wood Johnson, Port Authority of New York and New Jersey, CVS, PepsiCo, Honda, Walmart, and Verizon. He recently completed 2 tours as a photographer for the Moscow Ballet and a book commemorating the 25th anniversary of Moscow Ballet's Great Russian Nutcracker production features many of his photographs. He's spoken on topics of sports, events, dance, travel, and corporate photography at WPPI, Photo Plus, NECC, camera stores, and camera clubs across the country. He also leads photo tours around the world to locations including China, Cuba, and Tanzania. To see his work and for more information about his trips, visit www.ronwyattphotos.com. And Ron, just before we get this started, let me mention that we're going to, when we get to the winners, after Ron's done his judging, we're going to display the name of the winner with the photo. We'll take a break, just like we always do, between the first and second group. And then at the end, when we're doing our best in show, what we're going to do is we're going to unmute the lines for the first place winners so that you can talk about your image just like you would if we were in the room at the church. So without further ado, Matt, turn it over to you, and you can turn this over to Ron.
Excellent. We will start this in 1 second.
What a nice introduction. Are we okay?
We are. We're just waiting for Matt to find his screen.
Okay. Boy, back when I was a kid, had I known I could do drugs and invent stuff like this, speaking on a computer screen and 50 or 60 people can look at you, I would have tried some drugs, you know. This is really crazy. I love my jobs. I get to experience all kinds of new things.
Okay, and before we get started, I just put a picture in the chat window to show you where you can go to find those double lines to resize your window. All done, thank you.
Okay, Ron, this is the first group. There's 2 images. You'll have 1 HM out of this group.
All righty. Now, are we doing the previews real quick first, or we're just going right to the images?
You can do previews, Matt.
I will do a couple second preview.
Okay, and now, should I be seeing them on the bottom of my screen, or do I need to hit on something to get that?
You should see Cranbury Digital Camera Club across your screen.
Got it.
Okay, and next will be the image.
Okay. It was just 2 in that category?
That's correct.
All righty.
Neglected strands.
Okay. I'm a little confused because I'm looking for the leading lines taking me in, unless the middle piece is where I'm supposed to be going, and I see the line going there. For this one, I'm gonna rate it a 7.
Feeding the campfire.
Okay, for this one, I see the leading line where the gentleman is getting ready to throw, I guess, a log into the fire. So that's taking you into the arrangement of, or the fire. For this one, I'm gonna rate this one 7 also.
Okay, Ron, you've got 2 sevens, so you're gonna have to pick one of them for an HM.
Okay.
This one or that one?
I'm gonna go with the first one, the spider web.
That's gonna be the HM?
Yes.
Okay.
And just to let everybody know, we don't have a lot of folks right now in the beginner class. So when we have, our awards depend upon the number of images we have. So since we only have 2 awards or 2 images, we have just the 1 award of the HM for this class this time.
All right, and here's the award.
And neglected strands is done by Susan Freeman for an honorable mention.
All right, now we have group 2. There is 20 images in here. We're gonna have a first, second, third, and 4 HMs in it. And here's the quick preview. All right, and here goes the scoring.
What lies beneath?
Righty. So with this one, I'm a little confused. I see the holes going towards the center, but I'm not sure what that leading line is taking me to. So for this one, I'm going to score a 7.
Follow the fence.
Okay. What I like about this shot is the photographer centered himself, and the leading line is leading into the front lady. And what I like about him, it looks like he worked on her face a little bit and highlighted her face, so your eye is going right to her face and seeing her expression. For this one, I'm going to give it a 7. For this shot, I like the leading line going from the left top of the building to the right side, leading you to the 4 V columns on the right side. But I also like how the floor panels or the wood panels on the boardwalk is leading you also into this building. For this one, I'm going to score it an 8.
Tracks. I'm sorry, Ron.
I'm sorry. what I find interesting about this is the tire tracks that are coming in from the right lower corner and it's taking you up the hill, and then it kind of leads you out of the frame, but your eyes can tilt up and look at the rock formation or whatever that stuff that's in the background. And it's a little interesting because for a leading line competition, I like the way it's leading you to it, and then by you just tilting up, you're getting another view. For this one, I'm going to score an 8 on this one also.
Long walkway.
I like your leading line starting from the left lower corner, taking you around into the house. But what I really like is the way this photographer framed the house in between the tree branches, the tree leaves there. I always like to try to frame buildings when I can. And just like the work you did on this one, I'm going to score this one an 8.
Into the mist.
What I like about this shot is we have the railings on the left, and you have, which is the leading line, and then you see the lady walking towards into the clouds there. And I like the way you have hers, and then all of a sudden you're back into the clouds. And I'm also liking the fact that you happen to catch it at the right time where the birds flying there. This one I'm going to score a 9.
Allentown.
You got a bunch of leading lines here. You have the stripe in the middle of the road. You actually have the road leading you into the town. And then you have another set of pipes in the wall that's on the right corner. And then you have the leading line on the sidewalk and a little highlights with the fence shadow reflection there. And then I also like the fact that with the telephone wires that are taking you into this frame. For this one, I'm going to score an 8.
Waiting for sunset.
This one, again, the leading lines are working really nice, starting from the lower left corner and taking you up the hill. And I like the way the light tower is not quite centered on the shot. And also very nice capture with the lighting highlights on the right side of the tower. And then I also like the highlights that are coming off the light poles. I'm sorry, the poles on the fence down at the bottom lower left corner. This one I'm going to score a 9.
Ready for takeoff.
I'm liking the out of focus background, and I'm liking the leading line of the flower. I'm going to call it a flower. I'm not sure what to call it other than that. And I see the leading line there, but then I also see the back tail of the bug, and then which is leading you into the flower and getting ready for takeoff. And then I'm also liking the wing span line that's going across the frame. And also I like the way this was framed in the frame. So this one I'm going to score an 8.
Grumman awaits.
I see your leading lines with the lower bottom half of the photo curving into the boat. I like the little color that helps brighten this up, adds a little, the color, I'm enjoying seeing the color to break this up. This one I'm gonna score a 7.
Hawk's Nest.
Okay, really liking this photo. You have your curve of the wall, then you have the yellow lines. I also like the way the way the cars are formatted. I like the way you captured this with the timing, where the trucks in the front, the lower bottom half is nicely placed, and I like the way the other two cars going up the hill. It almost looked like this is a setup shot, but just love the leading lines, and this photo is perfect for a leading lines competition. And this one I'm going to give a 9.
End of the line.
Okay. Again, you know, you have the leading line leading you into a bush that says this railroad tracks are not being used at this time. For this one, I'm going to score it a 7.
Leading to the beach.
Okay. I'm liking the way the footprints lead you out to the water. I also like the fence and the curving you into stepping into water, and I kind of like the way the angle that this was shot. This one I'm going to score a 7 also.
Ron,
Yes.
just to interrupt for one quick, it's Valerie. If you can let us know how to make it better. We had a couple questions in chat where
Okay.
people say a few tips will be helpful.
Okay, I was going to say something about that last one. It's too late to go back to it. Okay, from here on, I'll do that. All right.
Thank you.
For this one, I'm seeing. Is my mouse showing you what I'm looking at, or no? I'm moving my mouse around.
Ron, click annotate.
You at the top, view options next to your viewing Matt screen.
Okay.
Click on annotate, and then there's a thing there where you can click to show us your mouse.
Hit mouse.
So annotate
Don't hit mouse, hit arrow.
Oh, okay.
and then click on wherever you want to show.
Okay, so now are you seeing my mouse moving around now?
No,
Nah.
you have to click on something. You can't just move
I
it.
see you clicked on something.
Okay, so now if I want to like lead the line into it, I just got to keep clicking it?
Yes.
Okay. All right, I got it. All right, thank you very much. Okay, for this one, to me, the leading lines aren't that obvious unless I want to look at this edge here or this edge here, and then I'm assuming that the leading line is supposed to be taking me into here. But the one thing that's I wish there was like a better image for me to take a look at. I'm not sure what this is or whatever. So you know, that's the one thing that's bothered me about this shot. But and this one I'm going to score a 7. Okay, obviously leading line starting from the bottom of the frame down here and taking us down the highway. I like that part, and then taking the curve in. But I'm not really sure. I mean, here's a tree line and everything, but I just wish there was more to this, where this leading line is taking me to. For this one, I'll score a 7. And maybe what would have been nice if we waited for a car to come through or something like that, just to fill this in. That's just my personal opinion about the shot.
Off to see the wizard.
Off to see the wizard. Okay. Well, what I'm liking about this shot is we're starting here and we're taking it down the curve, and it's taking me into these buildings. I'm not sure exactly what the wizard part of this is about. Excuse my not understanding that part, but I do like the way this is leading us into the town, or the building. This one I'm going to score a 8.
Lofty ambition.
Okay, what I like about this is we're down at the bottom of the hill and we're working our way up to frame the lighthouse. I pretty much like the angle of this, and it's a different way of showing and featuring a lighthouse in the photograph. So usually people will photograph them on ground level so you can see the water, and I just like the way this person decided to just really feature the lighthouse, the light tower, and also just using the sky for a backdrop. This one I'm going to score a 9.
Follow the river.
Okay, for this shot, I like the way the photographer slowed the shutter speed so that he's getting the, stopping the water, and we're starting up at the top of this, and we're coming down. I'm pretty happy with the framing. I like the way the bottom is leading off to the right lower corner, and you're starting with your leading lines up here at the top, coming up down. So this one is framed really nice, and I'm going to score this one an 8.
Riding the rails.
Okay. For this shot, I'm starting the leading lines from this way, taking me into the frame. But I'm just not really. I'm not seeing anything spectacular on the other end of this frame. Maybe what I would like to do is maybe crop all of this out, because the brightness of the shot makes my eyes go over to that, and it's just the sky. And then for this shot, it would have been nice if you waited for a train to come down the track or anything like that. This one I'm going to score a 7. Is that okay what I'm saying, or?
Yes, that's helpful.
Okay.
If you want to give any advice about processing or doing anything you would do differently, that would probably help as well. I didn't see the name on this one.
Okay.
Farmhouse, barnhouse.
All right. I like this leading line starting here and taking me into the barn. What I'm liking about this shot is for shooting in the farmland country part, I like the fact that we start up high on the hill and we're shooting down into the barn. But what I also like is the tree line that's happening back here, where we're also having a nice landscape in the backdrop. Maybe I would try to work on the sky a little bit to get it a little bit cheat a little bit and get it a little bluer, and then try to work on this green here. But I still like the shot. I like that you took me down a hill into it, and so this one I'm going to score an 8. That was 20.
That was 20.
Okay.
All right. We have 4 9s.
Okay.
So we'll have to pick our first, second, third, and one of the HMs out of there.
Okay.
Ron, I'm going to ask you if you can pick first and second first, and then I'll explain why after.
Okay. Okay.
And you can use your mouse to click on the thumbnail and show me which one you want.
All right. I think I'm going to pick first. This one I'm going to pick first.
Okay, Ron, I'm going to ask you to pick an additional first place. And I know this is unusual, but the reason is this image does not belong in this category. This is a,
Lynn?
yeah, it's Lynn's. It's a
No,
salon.
you're wrong. It belongs here.
It's a different, somebody else's image?
Yep.
There are 2 very similar
Okay,
images.
okay, thank you, Matt.
Yep.
Two
Okay.
very similar? Okay.
So this one is which place? I'm sorry.
This one I'm gonna make first,
This is first. Okay.
and then I'm gonna go with the second image. That one, yes, for
That
second.
one's second. Okay.
Then I'm gonna pick the other light tower for third.
This is third.
Yes.
Okay. And then this is obviously HM.
Yes.
All right. And now you have 3 more HMs to pick out of these 8.
Okay.
And there's 8 of them.
All right. Okay. I'm gonna make the. All right. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the bottom. Okay, that's gonna be all right. I need 3 out of this group.
You need 3, yes.
Okay. Gonna pick that one.
This is 1. Okay.
I'm gonna pick that one.
Okay. And you need 1 more.
Alrighty. I think I'm gonna go with the bug. I'm gonna
This
be.
one?
Yeah, let's go with that one.
All right. Okay. And now we will review the contest.
Honorable mention, Reflections from South End on Sea, John Curzel. Congratulations, John. Let's have some virtual claps. Into the Mist, Ella Beam, honorable mention. Congratulations, Ella. Ready for Takeoff, Matt Rank, honorable mention.
Thank you.
Farmhouse, Ed Horniker, honorable mention. Congratulations, Ed. Third place, Lofty Ambition, John Rhodes. And second place, Waiting for Sunset, John Rhodes. Okay,
Okay.
so we're gonna take a quick break, Matt?
Yeah, we're going to take a quick 6-minute break. I got a timer here. As soon as I find it.
How come you didn't show the first place winner?
We show that at the end.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
So if
We're
anybody
going
has
to,
any questions, now's a good time to ask Ron. Or if you need to use the restroom, it's a good time as well. And if anybody would like to speak, raise your hand and we can unmute you.
So Matt, so far everything's been looking okay with focus between the 2 computers I'm using. Are we okay?
Yeah, I think everything's working out real well.
All right.
what's that behind you, Ron? What's that a photo of?
That is the bird's nest from the 2008 Summer Olympic Games.
Ah,
That was
which was held where?
Beijing, China.
Oh, wow.
And I was there for 30 days. On the last night that I was there, I had my bags packed. I'm rolling all my gear out of the stadium after closing ceremony. My camera gear is packed away. I'm afraid that somebody may try to grab some of my gear or something. And I saw that photo for the first time in 30 days, and I almost didn't take the photo. And at the last minute, I said, oh, let me take the shot. So I pulled out a camera, put a 24-70 on it, and I did a 1/4 of a second handheld. I shot like 10 frames and picked the best one. And that shot has opened so many doors for me with different publications and things like that.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It was a shot that I almost didn't take.
Hmm.
And I hear they canceled Olympics for this year.
They canceled them all together now?
That's what but I'm not sure if it's all together, but I know it's canceled for July.
Yeah, I thought they were trying to move it.
Oh, okay.
Postpone it, maybe.
Yeah, well, you know, I really haven't been watching the news and everything, and I just came from a party tonight where there was like 20 people there, so I know that's crazy, but yeah. And tomorrow I'm gonna drive down to Bear, Delaware, to have some ribs.
Nice.
So we're very glad, Ron, that you are there by yourself, isolated. Thank you very much. Delaware has had very few cases, so you're probably safe in Delaware.
I'm gonna. It's part of a birthday present, so I'm taking a friend down to have some ribs from this guy that has a barbecue truck down there, and we're just going for the ride to get out the house and everything. So, but my neighbor across the street told me today that his son has the virus. So
I hope he told you from 6 feet away.
yeah, he hasn't seen him yet, so that was the good part about it, you know.
Okay, he hasn't actually seen his son. All right.
He hasn't seen him in a while, so. No, it's really crazy what's going on right now. This is like out of my full schedule I have for this month. This is the only event that's on my calendar that's actually happened. Everything else has been canceled. I was supposed to photograph the Cardinal in New York tomorrow, you know, and not gonna happen.
Nope, not gonna happen. What other types of things do you photograph? I know you do the dance stuff and.
Oh, that was the one thing I forgot. This is going to be my 31st year working with the marketing and PR department at Six Flags, and we're going to have they're going to open up one of the safari carts to photographers to photograph, and they asked me if I could get some photographers to do they're going to do like a video and PR press release photos to announce what they're doing. So I was going to put it on my Facebook page, but you know, if your club members want to participate, then have them send me an email, and then I'll let them know. I'm not sure what's going to happen now because of the way everything is going, but eventually what they're going to do is have maybe the first cart go out in the morning, and you'll be able to pretend like you're on a real safari.
Okay.
And the cameras and everything.
Yeah, put me on that list. I'd be interested in that.
So I don't know who could do it, but my email address is ron@ronwyattphotos.com. So maybe you know, I'm not sure exactly how many people I need, but you know,
A lot of interest. I'd be interested. Vicky and Lou are interested. Melinda's interested. Greg, that's not nice.
Timer's up.
So whoever's interested, send me an email and let me know, and then I'll keep you informed of what's going on.
I live about 8 miles from there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, most of us are very local to there.
Well, I originally wanted to do this on my own, and I've been talking to them about doing this for about 3 years now. And you know, we would start the meeting, and then other things would push it out the way. And so they came to me and said, "We're finally going to do it." And so they asked me if I could get some photographers. I said, "I don't think I'm going to have a problem having that happen," you know. So it should be fun.
Yeah, Francisco just said he's interested. You won't have any trouble filling it up with us. Marianne's interested.
All right. Well, if they would just send me an email, then I'm not going to announce it anywhere else. I was going to do it on,
Okay.
but
So it's Ronald Wyatt at wyattphotography.com.
Ron at ronwyattphotos.com.
Ron at
ronwyattphotos.com. They'll see my email address just there. So, am I doing okay with talking about the photos, or do you need more, or?
I think you're doing good. If you want to get in a little bit more depth, that would be great as well.
Okay.
This is going to be the third group.
Okay.
They're a little more experienced, and then you have the fourth group.
All right.
All right, you have 32 images on this group.
All righty.
You have first, second, third, and 7 HMs to do.
Wow.
And we'll give you a quick preview.
Okay.
As I get the chat window out of my way. All right, here's your quick preview. All right.
Boy, my computer's not working now. I need to go.
Yeah. And we're off.
Holy smokes. Nice work.
The path less traveled.
All right. Okay. So for this one, I'm going to score a 7. I see your leading lines leading me into the tree branch here, but and I do like the curved part that's going on here, where you have the top of the tree framing this a little bit. But I just wish there was more subject matter in here to make it a little more interesting. A car or anything like that to me would have made it a little bit better. So this one I'm going to score a 7. Maybe the next time, pull your car down in this area here and then take the photo again. I like your framing though.
A simple prayer. Excuse me, just a second, Ron. Linda DeAngelis, would you please respond to Valerie's private chat message to you? Thank you. Go ahead, Ron.
Okay. What I like about this photo is, for me, the leading line is starting back here in this right upper right corner, and for some reason I'm just thinking that's a little more unusual than normal. And I believe the leading line is taking me into this lighted frame here, and I just really find that interesting. That it's going from right to left to the main subject matter. This one I'm going to score at 8.
Moonflower bud.
Okay, what I like about this is I like that this is out of focus, and then it's spinning me into focus down here into the main subject. And I just really think that's nicely done. It's a nice effect. And as far as the leading line, I just like the way that it goes from out of focus into focus, taking me into the center of this frame. Very creative to me, and I'm gonna give this one a 9. Let it play for the upper winning categories.
Mr. Big,
Okay, for this shot, um, I'm I don't really see the leading line here. You know, unless I'm going to start here and then here and then curve in this way. So I guess that is the line, but I'm like really reaching. My eye automatically goes to the big ship, and then it also starts seeing these big clouds in here. So nice photo. I'm sure the company that's featuring this boat over here likes what you did. This one I'm going to score a 7.
going my way.
What I like about this shot is I like that we're leading you down into the terminal here, but if I turn it around and come back this way, I like how Amtrak, which is in focus and just placed nicely in the frame. And I'm thinking that if this was a photo for Amtrak, they would be very happy with this photo. If there was a way for me to improve it, it would be the highlights here in this sky. If there was something that you could do a little more with that, that would be great. But otherwise, nice photo. I'm going to score this an 8.
Orchard,
I liked starting here at the top with the gentleman on the farming tool. But what I like is the lines leading me into the water, and then I'm seeing his reflection here, and I'm also seeing the tree reflection. Very nicely done. I like the framing, and I like the sharpness of your reflection. You obviously waited for the water to be nice and steady, and you got a nice clean lines. Very nicely done. This one, are you okay?
getting some feedback.
Okay, we're good on this one.
Yes.
All righty. I
Ron,
scored
what was the score?
9. I'm sorry.
Mountain Lakes Bridge.
Okay, for this one, I'm liking your leading line starting here, taking me into the bush. I also like the shadow effect that you have because of the lighting, but I just wish there was more to this where you're leading me to. I just wish there was something more exciting to see here. This one I'm going to score a 7.
Going up.
Okay. I as far as again the category leading lines, I like that we're starting down at the bottom of the elevator, and you're taking me up. I like the way the young boy is looking back towards the camera. And the other thing I like about this shot is this upper screen here that's framing it and just stopping it, ending the shot. And what I like about it is the highlights and shadows are nicely done. The color is nice, but this, again, the skylight is not making my eye go exact right to it. My eye is being led right to this young man, young boy, and just very nicely done. This one I'm going to score a 9.
S-curves.
For this shot, I like the position that this photographer positioned himself to take this. He was obviously working these leading lines, and very nicely done. And I liked where he framed the car. This one I'm going to score a 9.
helmets.
Okay. For this shot, I'm there. To me, there's no central point of the photo. I mean, if I'm going to show a whole bunch of helmets, then what I would try to do is to make sure they're all in focus. So this is one that I'd probably put on the tripod and just, you know, go to a lower shutter speed and try to get an F16, F22 where they're all in focus. But there's nothing really jumping out at me. I'm looking at it on both screens, and you know, I apologize. This one I'm going to score a 7.
Under the bridge.
For this shot, I find it very interesting the position that the photographer took to photograph this, and I like that I'm finding my leading line starting here, and it's taking me down into the water, and I like that it's taking me downhill somewhat, and so this part where we're under the bridge is very interesting. But then I also like that I'm able to see this, and I just find this to be a nicely framed shot. I'm seeing a little dust marks over here and maybe over here too. So just be careful to make sure everything's clean on the shot, especially with the sky. And I'm going to give this one an 8.
Oculus.
Okay. I like the framing of this shot. I like this line that's taking me up, this column that's taking me up and then bringing me around. I'm liking that framing, but then I'm also liking the fact that you have these leading lines that's taking me to the shadow part. I got highlights going all the way down, and then we get to this guy in the shadow. So I like the leading lines going there, but I'm a little disturbed with this highlight here. It would be nice if we could have just darkened that up a little bit. I know there's light coming in from this way, but this highlight, for me, I'm assuming that the main part of this photo is the gentleman leading me to this gentleman. And I just wish you had to burn the highlights down a little bit just to make it a little more even so that this doesn't pop out as opposed to seeing the shadow. Still a nice photograph. And for this one, I'm going to score it an 8.
Rush hour.
Okay. What I like about this is the obvious slow exposure, and you got lines going everywhere on this particular photo. I also like the car that's coming into the frame that's taking leading lines from this, taking us into this massive confusion of light. This one I'm going to score an 8 also.
Not leaning.
Okay. Very nice shot. What I like about this is the columns that's taking you up. But I like this part of the frame where it just catches my attention for a second. And then I just like that these columns are pushing me up. And I like the way you got the blue sky around the frame in this. Very, very nice photo. Nice angle that you chose here. And this one I'm going to score a 9.
Road to ruins.
Okay, so again, obviously leading lines taking me in the lower part of the frame. Then we got the curve that adds a little flavor to the leading line. And then it drops me off in front of this building. And I just like the way this is done. the art photographing this building. I'm liking the way you use the leading lines to take us to the building, but then I also like the lines that are going here. That's going down, framing here, and then going back up. I'm seeing that part too. I'm not sure. I'm looking at it on one screen and it looks different on my laptop. But I just wish the highlights and shadows, just especially the shadows, popped out a little bit more. On my 27-inch screen, it looks a little flat, but still a nice photo. And I'm gonna score this one a 9 also.
Down the hall.
Okay, like the lines taking me down the hall, but I really like that the light that's coming in here and how you have it coming off the wall. I think the exposure is really nice here. The one thing I would have done was I would have trucked to the left a little bit. I would have moved my body over somewhere maybe here so that I could see down a little more center. But this is fine what you did. Because now I'm my eyes leading to these highlights that are down. So still, I like what you did here. But one of the things I may have done, and you probably did do it too, was maybe move to the left so that you could center up and see all the way down the column. But very nice. Again, I like the highlights over here, and this looks really nice. And this one I'm going to score a 9.
Sunday stroll.
Okay, one of the things I noticed about this shot is you must have got up real early in the morning to take this photograph, because you got an empty beach here, or either you're really good with Photoshop taking the people out, but nicely done. I would like the skies to be maybe a little bluer and maybe darken this a little bit. But I just, again, I even though I'm saying it's nice that you did get people in, it's a little bit light on subject matter to me, you know, and this one I'm going to score an 8. Does that make sense? Is a little light on the subject matter?
It does to me. I understood. I'm sorry, what was that one called? Thank you, Matt. Skyline 2.
Okay. I'm enjoying that the columns here leading me into these buildings. This one I'm gonna score an 8, and this just nicely done. I like the highlights on the water. I like leading into this building, but I'm just gonna score this an 8.
Pereira Bridge.
Okay, so this is similar to the other one we saw before. Nice effect, though. I like the way you did this. This one, I like both sides being interesting, coming both ways, and leading us into the bridge here, and just nicely done. I like the effect, the way you produced this shot here, and this one I'm gonna score an 8.
Day tripping.
Okay, what I like about this one is I like the effects we're getting from the sun shining down, the rays that are leading us to these people. And then I'm also enjoying how the people are starting over here and taking us in. I like the little reflection that's right here in the water. And then I like the leading lines taking us down the hill. Nice capture, nice photograph. And this one I'm going to put in an 8, as an 8.
The point of it all.
Okay. Boy, I don't know what to say about this. I'm not sure about this highlight that's down here. There's reflection, I guess, and I'm just kind of confused what the heck this thing is. Um, I apologize. I'm just like speechless with this one. I'm going to score it an 8, but I'm just kind of like speechless on this one. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
St. Pancras Station.
Okay. I'm liking the leading lines going in a circle with this dome. I like this leading line that's taking us in. But what I like the most about this shot is how it's leading me into the clock down here and the highlights from this part of the building down at the back here. Colors look really nice. And I like the position of how you stood to take this shot. This one I'm going to score an 8.
Cabaret.
Okay. What I like about this shot, the available light, I like the way your bulbs are the rays that are coming off the bulbs. But I just think that your exposure is really nice on this shot. I like the way the colors are popping off here on the left side of this wall. And then I'm also liking the blue sky that you got out of this shot. I'm not really seeing a key point to where all of this is leading me into. But again, what I like about this photo is the exposure that you got and how you got the highlights really nice with the bulbs and then the blue sky. And I'm also liking this pattern with the windows is going down in here. This one I'm going to score an 8.
Here comes trouble.
Okay. Okay, so like right now, I'm concentrating on the title of this. Here Comes Trouble. So I'm not really understanding this, but I'm liking the stairs taking me up to the house, and what's bothering me a little bit is the tree branches that are up there. I kind of wish that we didn't have that. But I guess, I would maybe try to move to the left to go out of frame to see if I could frame this up a little bit better. But then you could be saying to me that you were also using the trees for a leading line into the house. So this one I'm going to score a 7.
Air Force Academy Chapel.
All right, nice lighting on this. I like the way you captured this. I like the shot, the reflections that are coming off of the floor. And what I'm liking here is you're leading me in, but I like what's going on with these leading lines here. That's taking me to the center here from this angle and this angle going up. And I'm liking the way this ends up here. And then I got these nice colors and lighting effects here. Very nicely done. This one I'm going to score a 9.
Bamboo Forest.
For this one, what I like about this is your leading lines is starting me here, taking me past this tree. And then I also like that it's also continuing in the back here. So it's like a little curve effect. And I kind of find that interesting because I like the foreground leading lines that's taking me to the tree. I like the fact that you have this column, the tree, off to the side. It's not really centered, but it's framed nicely with the tree branches up here. But then after I'm finished looking at the tree, I like the fact that we're starting to curve back here in the back. So I kind of find this photo interesting. One thing I would like to have done is I would have tried to darken this out so that I'm not seeing these white spots in here, and maybe clone in the green or something to cover that up. But I still like what you did here, and this one I'm going to score an 8.
Into the hills.
Okay, leading line starting me off in this corner and taking me up the curve. Nice, going around this curve, and then the road ends. So I'm I see you're featuring all of this area here, so you did lead me into it. For this photograph, I'm gonna score it an 8. I like the way you have the highlights and shadows. Everything is looking good in the frame. So you know, it's a little. I would maybe like to have seen a little more something like action, like a car or something in there, but I know you're photographing mountains and a hilltop, so that's what you're gonna get.
Miami History Museum.
Okay, again, our category is leading lines, so I like the way the steps are leading me up to the gentleman. And then I like that he's in the shadow, and then I'm liking the tall building that's on the right here and the blue sky that's in the middle. Maybe so the shots, it's nice. Maybe one thing I would have tried to do is maybe move to my right a little bit so that I have the gentleman right in the center of the blue part of the frame. But still nicely done. I'm liking the fence part here. Just a nicely interesting photo, and I'm gonna score this one a 9.
A unique view of the vessel.
Okay, so I agree. It's a unique view. I photographed this myself, and I like how you're capturing the leaning buildings here. Everything's curving with the lens you use. I also like the way your audience or spectators, viewers are framed in here. It's just nice section here. One lady leading you into it, and then this group leading you into it. So it's nicely framed shot, nice effect. I agree, unique. And this one I'm going to score a 9.
U.S. Pavilion, Spokane.
Okay, so I like the leading line that's taking me from here up to the circle, but what I really like about this shot is the curves that are happening here, taking me in and then around into the circle. I just think that for entering this into a leading line competition, very nice photo to represent that category. The lines that are here, and then the leading lines taking you here, and then the little circle here. I like what you did here. I hope that you also included the whole circle in another frame, and I'd be curious how that one actually looks also. But nicely done, and this one I'm going to score a 9.
Hoodoos.
Okay. I like the upper left corner where you have your mountaintop. I'm just going to call it that. But I like that my eyes coming down and I'm seeing the water, and then I'm following the path here, and leading me out to the frame. So nicely framed. I also like the tree line that's over here that's helping take away some of this blue sky off to this side, to the left side of the frame. This one I'm going to score an 8.
Second level.
Okay, what I like the leading lines taking me into the center. Right here, I would try to make it a little darker here so that my eye is not being distracted to that hot spot there in the brightness of the sky. But for photographing this prison, it's a nice shot, and this one I'm going to score an 8.
All right, you've got 11 nines to pick through.
All right, so I need 3.
First, second, third, and 7 HMs.
Oh boy.
So you'll have to pick one more out of the other group.
Okay.
Matt, Debbie, if you do first, third, and 7 honorable mentions, that's going to be 10 images. Can I just say make 8 HMs?
Sure. Yeah, give 8 HMs.
Yeah, because there's 11. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Thanks, Will.
So, so you want me to give you the first place first?
Sure.
All right. I think I'm going to take the tower shot.
That one there? That's first. Okay.
Okay. For second place, I'm going to take the prison shot. That-
Prison, second. All right.
I'm going to make that the third place shot.
The trees, orchard.
Yes.
Okay. And then the rest will be HMs.
Okay.
All right. Now we'll review.
Moonflower bud, honorable mention, John Aniano. Going up, honorable mention, Sue Fielder. S curves, John Sandstedt, honorable mention. Road to Rudens, Randy Sisson, honorable mention. Air Force Academy Chapel, John Sandstedt, honorable mention. Miami History Museum, Kathleen DeTana, honorable mention. A Unique View of the Vessel, Francisco Gomez, honorable mention. U.S. Pavilion Spokane, Will Cook, honorable mention. Third place, Orchard, Michael Padley. Down the Hall, Fred Appelian, second place.
All right, now we're going to be on the fourth group. The fourth group, we have 16 images. So it's first, second, third, and 3 HMs.
Okay.
And here's your quick preview. All right, now here's the scoring.
Wow. Okay,
Promise.
I'm sorry. All righty. I like the out of focus background. I like starting here, leading us into the flower, and then I like the way it's curving back into the center of the frame. This one, I'm going to score an 8.
I'm watching you.
I like the way the wall is framed up here and here, left to right, and the aisle is taking me into the gentleman, and I like that he's framed off to the right. He's not centered in the frame, and it just a very nice shot. This one I'm going to score a 9.
Taking in the view.
I like the combination of the leading lines. I like the leading line that's starting at the top and taking us into the center, ending here, and then my eye is seeing her. I like this leading line that's going up, photographing, leading us to her here, to her. And then I also like the leading lines that are taking us up from here to curving in and then curving back down. So this has a real nice combination of leading lines, and just nicely framed by whoever took this photograph. This one I'm going to score a 9. I like the way she pops out of this background here. I think it's a she.
The asphalt snake.
Okay, this reminds me of those hills in San Francisco where you just keep seeing winding curves and everything. I like the effect that he used to produce this photograph, and I'm just liking the shadow part here, the nice yellow line here, then a little bit of more of a highlight, just loaded with a bunch of leading lines. And it was perfect for this competition. This one I'm going to score a 9.
Church door.
What I'm liking about this frame is the lighting that we're getting on here. I like the reflections that are happening, or the shadows, reflections that are not reflections, but the shadows that we're seeing down in the lower part of the frame here. And what I'm really liking is the texture that you're getting off of the wood because of the lighting. So this was a nice find, a nice photograph to create. And I think the photographer did a nice job on this one. This one I'm going to score a 9. What I like about this is the nice bright colors. I like the leading line that's taking me into the boat here, into the front half of the boat, this one, the rope part here. But I like the way this is framed with the boat, and then the way you place the house, and this, I'm going to call it a boathouse here. Just a nicely framed photograph. And I also like the nice blue skies you got here. Colors and everything is just really working on this. And I appreciate your framing down here where you have this little loop, but it's ending in the spot that it's ending, and it just a very nice capture. This one I'm going to score a 9.
That's Peggy's. Kyoto Bamboo Forest.
Okay, so again, because of the competition, I like our leading lines are starting down here, over here, and leading us into the couple walking down the walkway. One of the things I would have done is maybe move to my right a little bit more so that these guys would be a little more centered on this one. The other thing is, I understand you wanting to get this effect of the high trees, I'm going to call them, but I probably would maybe want to crop it here so that I'm not getting this white highlights that are making my eye go to that. If you cropped it right here, then my eyes really going to see this couple a little better. But I understand you want to feature these tall trees. Nice shot. I'm going to score it an 8.
Beach.
Okay. What I like about this photograph is the little lines here of the water edge coming up, but I like the highlights on the edge of the water. I like this little white that you're getting here, and then I like the highlights here, and it kind of pushes me in. And then I'm liking that the building is a little in the shadow, but between the sand and the highlights coming off the water leads me into this building, and I like the effect. I may want to maybe crop out some of the sky so that it's not too much of all of this, because this, to me, this would be great for a cover shot or something where you can put text in here or whatever. But that's the one thing that bothers me, is I would like to crop it a little better, maybe not as high. This one I'm going to score an 8. Also like the footprints on that one, on the last one too.
Taking in the view.
Okay, what I like about this shot is out of focus background here, and I'm liking the way his neck is hanging off, and his head, you're able to see it really good because of the background. So I like the way that part of it is framed. This one I'm going to score an 8.
Into the subway.
What I like about this is the effect that you use to produce this photograph. But I'm liking that. I'm hope I'm right, but it looks like you tilted the camera to the right a little bit down, so that this is lower on the right side of the frame, and this is higher on the left side of the frame. And I just like the effect that you did on this one. The other thing I like is the effect you're getting with the lights coming off here. Maybe, I'm sure you probably shot a bunch of frames, so I may have wanted to take the next frame where this light is covered by his head, and this way I'm getting a full effect of his head. But still, it's a nice capture. The highlights look good, and excuse me, for this one, I'm going to score it a 9.
Graffiti pier.
Okay, really love this shot because of the colors, and what I'm liking is starting here, I'm viewing, and then I like the fact that I'm going all the way inside of here, and the line is just taking me into the shot, and I like the depth that you have on this frame. I also kind of like the focusing too. I'm looking at it on both computers, and I'm just liking the way you focus this particular shot, and very nicely done. And I'm going to score this one an 8.
Tracks at the stacks.
For this shot, I like the way you presented this photograph, the techniques you used to produce this photograph. I'm also liking the rustic feeling that we're getting, showing that it's an old railroad, and just that it's age. And so I like that part of the effect. I see your leading lines taking us down in here, but I kind of just wish there was more to the end of this shot. You know, if you're just featuring this part of the frame, then that works, but I'm looking for the leading line to take me somewhere, and it's just taking me down a curve here. And you know, so it's still a nice shot. I'm going to score this one an 8 also.
Peter Pan beckons.
Okay. Well, I like the way you're featuring only one finger on the hand. You got it pointing to the sky, so that's pretty cool. But what I like is your focus on this. I like that you have the person, the head's framed really nice, and I like his eyes and his smile, and he's getting his point across. So I find this to be a very creative shot. I'm curious of what drugs you were on when you decided to take this picture, but it's interesting. So, as a disgruntled Christian, I used to do those kind of hand gestures, and you know, you did a nice job here. I'm gonna give you a 9 just because of the creativity of this shot. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Into the woods.
Okay, it's this shot is looking a little soft to me on both my screens, but I'm seeing your leading lines here. You're starting in the lower half of the frame, taking me up the steps, taking me up the hill, and then here's my guy. What I do like about him is in this green, I like his colors that are popping out at me, but I'm just really, it's looking a little soft, so I'm not sure what that's all about. So I'm going to score this one a 7.
Entering Takayama.
I'm a little disturbed, and I'm not sure. There's some distortion going on here, and what I do like the fact that the sidewalk looks good, and so, but up in here I'm seeing a distortion, so I'm not sure if that's the effect you wanted to get or not. Overall, the scene looks good, and I think that, you know, because I'm you know, oh, what happened? That wasn't Matt's shot, was it? Anyway, for this shot, again, if you're going for the creative, the being creative and having that distortion going on, and over all across this top line, then that's fine. If that wasn't your intention, that's that. So this one I'm going to score an 8.
Tree path.
Okay. Again, I love when you frame photographs. So I like this top part curving and framing, and I like the leading line, and I like that it's It's got the little curves in it so that it's not a straight line. It's just really has nice texture. It's a little hot down this end. And for me, I would have cropped it somewhere here just so that I don't, I don't get this top part here, because I don't think it really adds unless you're just trying to show how tall it is. But I think you have a really nice photo leading us here. But then I would try to make this a little dark in the back just so that it's not as hot back there. But still a nice shot. I also like the foreground action that's going on here with the colors, also leading us into the frame and into the roadway. This one, I'm going to give you an 8.
We have 7 9s.
So we need first, second, third, and how many honorable mentions?
It's supposed to be 3, but I guess we can make it 4.
So we're just going to look at this group.
Yes.
This is the last category?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, then you have best to show to pick.
Okay. Okay. For first place, I'm gonna go with the that one.
That one's first, okay.
I'm gonna pick that one for second place.
Second, okay.
Okay, go hit it again. I just want to see it one more time. Can you stop there for a second?
Sure.
And then go to the next one. I'm gonna pick that one for third place.
This one's third, okay. And that makes the rest HMs.
Well, thank you very much. The guy's throwing the finger at me there. I guess because I didn't pick him.
You were the highlight of his day. All right. And we'll review this contest, and then we'll take a short little break while I set up the best of show.
All right. If anybody wants to chew me out or elaborate, I'll be here during the break.
The Asphalt Snake, Lynn Podwy, honorable mention.
Nice shot.
Church Door, Debbie Aniano, honorable mention. Peggy's Cove, Greg DeAngelis, honorable mention. Peter Pan beckons, and that is not his middle finger. Debbie Aniano, honorable mention.
You're right. Oh
Yes, please.
Yeah, it kind of looks
You're
like
not
his
the
middle
president of the club putting something in that's inappropriate.
Sorry. Well, I that's what I saw.
Yeah, I saw a middle finger too, but I guess it is his index.
Yeah. Okay. Well, man,
You're number 1, Ron. Don't worry, you're number 1.
I'm very sorry.
Third place, Into the Subway, Harvey Birnbaum. And I'm watching you, Harvey Birnbaum, second place.
Wow.
All right. Couple minutes and I'll put together the best of show.
Okay.
Matt, I sent you a private message.
You sent me a message? Okay.
Any questions out there? Oh, thank you, Christina. This is scary.
It's always a lot different when you're at your own desk, right?
Yeah, and then the screen you're looking at, it's interesting. When's your next street? I'm not seeing everything here. So when is your next street? I'm seeing, I'm not seeing all that. Somebody asked, when's my next street? I'm not sure where they were going.
I missed that one. They may have sent it to you directly because I'm not seeing it.
I saw it on the middle of my screen, but it's not a full,
All right, we got the best of show now.
okay.
You have 3 images to pick because the first group only got HM. So you have second, third, and fourth group to pick through.
All right. So I'm just picking the best show?
Yep, best of show.
I think it's gotta be the black and white one.
Oh, sorry, we'll go back to that.
I think I'm gonna go with the that one as best of show.
The taking into view.
Yes.
Okay. Excellent. And now we'll review this contest.
If anybody's looking to move over to mirrorless Sony cameras, is it okay to say that I have an A7 III available and an A9 available for sale? Can I say?
You can say that, yeah.
How would they know and get in touch with you?
Ron at ronwyattphotos.com.
And what kind of pricing or?
Email Ron Wyatt Photos. Ron Wyatt.
Photos.com.
Ron Wyatt what? Photo.
How did you get on?
I want to go on that trip. A few people announced they want to go, but I hit this thing and I thought I spoke into it. That wasn't it.
All right, here we go. Best of show.
Here we go.
Actually, here's first place winner. Ed
Ed
Horniker.
Horniker, is he unmuted? Would you like to tell us about your image, Ed?
Yeah, well, hello, can you hear me?
We
Yes.
can hear you.
Okay, this was in the Catskill Mountains along the Hudson. They call it Hawk's Nest. And I was there about 2 hours. I picked my spot and I waited to get the cars into the picture. And when I thought it was right, and I perked up the yellow, I made the yellow a little brighter. And I just liked the picture because it looked like it had an S-curve, and that's what I put in.
Very good. So
Good job, Ed.
nicely done, and excellent for this category.
Thank
Very
you. And
nice.
Ron, I'd like to go on your trip. If you hear me, I'd like to go on that trip.
Okay, you're talking about at Six Flags?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Ron Wyatt photo.
Okay, I will do that. And thank you very much. And that's the 4th time I saw you.
Oh,
And I know you judged at that club 3 times before, at
Excellent.
least 3 times.
very good. Well, I'm sure you're.
And of course, thank you for choosing me as best of show.
Image.
That's
And whatever you do, stay well. Look out for that virus. Be
Yeah.
careful.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Will, not leaning. Are you out there, Will?
Yes, I am. Yeah, this is the Leaning Tower of Pisa from about 8.5 years ago. Just kind of got in under there and took the shot up the way and liked it. So and it was actually open at that point. So he climbed up to the top and took the view.
Well,
Wow.
I actually got to photograph this myself, and like usually when I'm on a photo tour, I'm never listening to a tour guide. I open on the bus and I'm taking photographs. To shoot this, we actually had to walk to it, and our tour guide stopped so that we couldn't see it, the Leaning Tower, and then he was just running his mouth on and on and on. I'm like, come on already, I want to see the doggone thing. And out of the different places that I've been, I always cry when I
It's just funny.
see it. And what I like about this shot is the angle that you chose to do this. What lens did you use for this one?
I have no idea, but it's probably a 28 millimeter.
Okay, all right. Well,
8.5 years ago, so I don't remember.
very nicely done, though. I shot a zillion different angles of this thing, and this one is one I didn't think of, and I like the way you actually captured it. Very nicely done. Nice skies too.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, and our best to show.
Joe Gilchrist, are you out?
Hello. Yeah, this was actually a very interesting image. I didn't know I had it until I started looking through my images. I've been staying in New York, had a wedding to go to. We were staying at the Millennial Hilton, which is right across the street from the Oculus. And I wanted to get back to the Oculus at night, shot this, and it's like, going through the images, and I saw this. And the thing that stuck out was that the single person in there, and you never see that because it's usually crowded. So it was one of those things that it's like, just really one of those things, just a serendipitous image. So, it was really interesting. And thank you very much, Ron.
You may be able to go over there tonight and get this shot,
Yeah, you might be able to, but this is one of those things. It was like in July, June or July, or and actually it was in September. I'm sorry, September. But it was like, looking at that and I'm going, because I was, as I said, it's just one of those things. It just happened to be there, and she put herself there. I don't even remember taking it, tell you the truth. It's just one of those things that you probably have an instinct to just say, hit the shutter. That's it, and that's what it was.
Let me ask you this: when you decided to use this for leading lines, which lines were you thought was the one that sell this for you?
Actually, there were actually 4 of them. The
Okay.
one is the one at the top, the one coming in from the top to her, the
Right.
one on the right, the ones on the right and left into her, and then the ones that are on the bottom, and then sort of the blue lines in there. So that's what I was looking at on that.
Okay. All right. Well, there were some really beautiful shots, but I love what you did. I also like the exposure that you got. Back here it's a tad little hot, but I still just like the way everything's working there. So.
But there are times that you can't, there are times that you have to look at it and that's the scene. That's what you get at that particular time. Especially if you notice it's at night. So it's actually probably about, I don't know what time it was, probably 11 o'clock or something like that.
Very good. Well, anyway, very nice shot.
Thank you.
I hope others agree that this was a good photo to end the time.
Stunning.
Excellent shot, Joe. Did
Thanks.
you use a tripod or?
No, that was handheld.
Okay, last time I was there, the tripods were frowned upon. Security was chasing you.
Well, I also have a platypod, which I can put down. It's about, it doesn't take up very much room. So that's the other thing. So, you can use one of those, but this was handheld.
Okay, cool.
Was this a clap exposure, or was this a motor drive exposure with maybe 5 to 10?
I can't even tell. I can take a look in Lightroom and tell you what it is, because it's like I was there and I don't, as I said, it's one of those things I just love. I've done it with fisheye as well. This is probably an 18 to 35 at this point. So that's what I was looking at in that case. So, it's just a matter of it may be a couple of shots like that, but I can't tell you off the top of my head.
Well, I recommend if you're shooting without a tripod and you're doing available light, that you want to frame up the shot and you want to fire off 5 to 10 frames.
Yep.
And I would go down to a quarter of a second, even lower. But again, because you're shooting in that burst mode, one of those 10 frames is going to be perfect.
I agree. Yeah, I've done that a lot. That's just it. You get one of those. It's the. I will get one out of this whole thing. Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, as long as you're not unhappy with me, if anybody else has questions or anything, I'm more than happy to answer them.
No, you did a great job, Ron. Thank you.
All righty. That's just scary. But I must say I appreciate you guys making this effort to pull this off, very nicely done. And I hope other camera clubs follow and do the same, just to keep things going, this is the only assignment I have for this month that actually went through. So bravo to you guys for pulling it off,
Well, Ron, I want you to have a safe trip home. and if everybody could help pick up the chairs, that would be great.
I was just thinking about the same thing.
Now, I saw that you need a speaker for April. I've spoken to your club, right?
Yeah, you have.
What did I speak on?
You've spoken on the Russian ballet. I think you've done also the Olympics also.
Okay, all right then. Well, I have a travel talk, and I also have a talk on my switch from Nikon to mirrorless. So if you're in a jam, then I'm available for that. Anybody else with any questions?
Yeah, Ron, again, to join your Safari, it's Ron at
RonWyattPhotos.com.
Okay. I got it right. I just put it in the chat room.
All right. Okay. I'm not sure how many people I'm going to need, but the more the merrier. And I guess, like I said, it's going to be for probably a commercial, and also actually, PR photos showing that we have this going on.
I went on that safari trip at Six Flags. It was really good.
Yeah, well, what I'm hoping to do is be able to, I'm trying to get them to let us be the first truck out, and maybe we'll leave an hour earlier or something like that. And this way, maybe the truck could go off the normal trail and get closer to the animals. and then actually stop the truck so you can stand up and take some photos. Now to do that, you know, I'm gonna suggest that they have 2 or 3 trucks so that if we have, you know, maybe a truck or something like that, so everybody could stand and get a clean shot. Just like if you
I
were
would,
on a Ferrari, you know.
What are they going to
I
do when
would-
the monkeys that they have that jump all over the truck come?
Actually, they're caged up now, Debbie.
Yeah.
Oh, they are?
Can't get out,
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah,
hey, Ron,
yes.
Ron, the
Yes.
only thing you got to be careful of in this day and age with the virus, when I went on it, it was shoulder to shoulder sitting there.
Yeah, no, it shouldn't be that way because you can't do photography that way. So I'm thinking that it's going to have to be maybe 5 to a truck, and have 2 people in the back of the truck, 2 people in the middle of the truck, and then 2 people. Well, that's 6. 2 people in the front of the truck, and in this way, you know, on the left side you can move pretty easy.
Yeah, that would be good.
Ron, if I believe correctly, I think they have 4 rows of seats in those big trucks.
Okay.
4 or 5 rows. I've been
Yeah,
in
they have more.
these hundreds of times, so. But
They have over 15.
yeah, they got those huge trucks that have several rows in them. So yeah, you could, and yeah, you get a photographer on one side and a photographer on the other side, and just fill up the rows. That wouldn't be terrible.
You know, but I just want to make sure they know that we need to stop the truck and we need to unseat you, because they normally want you to have a seatbelt on while you're running, and it's really bumpy.
Yes, that's correct.
I did test run through it, and it's bumpy if you're trying to shoot while it's moving. So, you know, I've spoken to them, you know, maybe early last season and the season before. It's been a couple of seasons I've been trying to pull this off. So I haven't been in the late meetings, but that's the thing I'm going to suggest, that maybe we get to go out maybe an hour and a half before the regular time. Maybe the park opens at 10. Maybe the people who are going on the first truck safari can come in at 8:30, 9 o'clock. You know, and then we could work something out. And then maybe eventually I'll see if I could get Sigma or oh God, I can't think of the other company now. The lens company. Who's the other?
Tamron?
See if they may want to get involved with it, so that they can help with longer lenses and all that kind of stuff. So, but again, I'm not sure what's going on, because right now you don't know what's happening as far as when this is going to happen and whatnot. But you know, everybody that sends me a note, I will save it and keep your name. And then as soon as I know what's going on, I'll be more than happy to share it with you guys. Any other questions?
Thanks,
Yeah.
Ron.
Ron,
Can you hear
I
me?
have Ron.
Yes.
I have the D850, and I was thinking of switching. Which camera did you switch from to?
I switched from a D4, and I sold my favorite lens ever out of 30 years with Canon, 10 years with Nikon. My 200 F4, I sold that, which was.
Oh yeah, that's a good good lens. Good lens.
I created a D4 and a 750, and I switched to an A9 and an A7 III.
And which mirrorless did you get?
Sony.
The Sony, of course.
Yeah. Sony.
Yeah.
So
you sold all your lenses too?
I sold everything. I made the total switch to it. And that's something, if you Canon shooters and Nikon shooters are not interested in switching to mirrorless, but you're looking for a lens, you may want to check out Autorama and then check out B&H, because a lot of pros switch to Sony, and the you know, a lot of people traded at Autorama, so some really good quality equipment. Most professionals really take care of their equipment. So you may be able to find a lens that you were looking for a little cheaper now that a pro had I first recommend Autorama and then D&H after that, as far as looking for used equipment.
Yeah, Ron, this is Joe. I've also had some good luck with KEH. That's the other one I've dealt with. My
Okay.
4x5 lenses and things like that.
Okay, all right. I've never dealt with them. They're in the Midwest somewhere, right?
They're actually in what is it? They're in Georgia.
Okay.
I can't think of the Alfredo, Georgia, or something like that. They're down there. But they've done a pretty good job. They do a pretty good job, even when they have an 8 or a 9, It's pretty good equipment. I bought a couple of lenses from them.
I mean, a lot of the pros that switch, there's some good equipment out there that you may get cheaper than normal. So I would definitely, if you're looking for used equipment and good quality, I know the people at Autorama, the guy's really good there. So they give you some time to make sure it's okay, and take it from there. So yeah, it's a good way to get things that you've been trying to get for a while.
Hey, Ron,
Yes.
it's Lynn. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I guess you did your dinner a little earlier today, right?
We had the dinner, and I got in here like 7:30, 7:40, and everything worked out. So
Yeah, thank you so much.
Was it meatballs again, Ron, or?
no. I'm probably going to be laying off the meatballs for a little while. I've been eating too much of that, So I had it, I think last Monday, Tuesday for lunch, and I think maybe Thursday for dinner. And then the alarm went off to say no more meatballs for a while,
So you're going to go have barbecue tomorrow instead?
Yes.
Okay, that should be better.
There you go. Heading to Delaware in the morning. So.
All right, everybody. I guess we'll say good night. Thank you for coming, and watch your email again, because we're going to probably try to have something in between now and the competition meeting. And I think you can almost guarantee the competition meeting will have to be online, as well as anything else we do. So everybody have a good night.
Good night,
Take care.
Debbie. It was
Good night.
great.
Good night.
Good night. Glad
Should I
everybody
wash my
enjoyed it.
hands now?
Yes,
Yeah,
go
wash
right
your
ahead and wash your hands, Ed.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good
Night,
night.
guys.
All right.
Good job.
Okay. Oh, leave meeting.